It's been nearly a year now since Canon released their excellent N500 and N300 PTZ cameras, and now they have just announced their new flagship model to add to the lineup, the N700. The N700 looks like it shares a lot in common with the N500, but with two main very important differences. The first is a nice simple one. This has a 12G SDI output, while the N500 only had a 3G SDI output. Now this might sound like a really small thing to some people, but for high-end PTZ workflows, a 12G SDI port is simply a must-have. They of course want to use SDI for their final delivery output onto a rack-mounted bank of recorders or a video mixer of course, and with 3G SDI that is limited to 1080p. Now you'll get up to 4K 60 simply due to that 12G SDI port. We've shown the N500 to a huge amount of high-end PTZ productions over the last year or so, and pretty much all of them have said, you know, this is great, we love this, but we can't use it without 12G SDI. So it is by far the most important new addition to the N700. The second main improvement over the N500 though is the sensor and processor unit itself. We don't know a huge amount about this, as on a spec sheet they both appear about the same as a 1-inch CMOS chip. However, we have been told by Canon that it is a different sensor and that it is based on their XF605 camcorder, which in my opinion has the best image quality out of any camcorder on the market right now. So this could be a really big deal. The N500 was already very highly thought of for image quality in the PTZ market, only really being outperformed by the highest end models from Panasonic like the UV150. So we're very much looking forward to getting our hands on the N700 to see how much better it is. They are, however, announcing this the day after Sony have announced their FR7, a full-frame, interchangeable lens PTZ camera, which in our opinion will completely shake up this part of the market. So I imagine that is going to steal a bit of the thunder from the N700 announcement. However, that camera, as impressive as the image quality certainly is, it's not going to be suitable for every production, as it's a higher price point and a bit less practical because of the interchangeable lenses. You know, you're never going to get a zoom range on a full frame sensor to rival the built-in lenses on a traditional PTZ like this N700. You'd need a 25 to 375mm zoom, which simply does not exist in the full frame world. So no matter how good the FR7 is, there will still be a place for more traditional PTZs, and so the N700 still has a huge amount of potential. There are two more differences to the N500 which I feel are well worth mentioning here. The first is the power consumption. The N700 requires PoE++ to power rather than the regular PoE+ on the N500. The second is the addition of what Canon call night mode, which is just an infrared mode, just like you get on their camcorders, but it's going to be really useful to have for anyone using these outside at night. Apart from that, most of the other big features on the N700 are the same as we know and love on the N500. The fantastic autofocus system, the image stabilization, built-in ND filters, XLR ports, the same 15x optical zoom lens, ND-IHX support built in with no need for a license, even 3D support for virtual production work. We will of course look much closer at the N700 once we can physically get our hands on one. But for now, if you want to know more, our sales team would of course be very happy to help, and the link to our website is in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.